Yo, it's the Crim Reaper here. In the wake of Full Gear, I want to elaborate more on what I said in that video about the main problems with AEW. I think in a nutshell, the biggest problem with AEW is that they don't understand that less is more. That's the biggest problem. They think they have to have 15 million titles. Every match has to be a 30-minute spot fest. Everything has to be 5 stars. There has to be blood and crazy weapons every single week. They don't understand that less is more. If on the same pay-per-view, I just saw 3 matches that were all 30 minutes long, that all had a bunch of false finishes and finisher kickouts, that all had crazy spots, I'm not going to be thrilled if I see it again. How am I going to be thrilled if I see crazy spots in a Hangman Adam Page match and Samoa Joe, if on the previous match I just saw Darby Allin and Pac do the same thing? That's just an example. Like, how can I be thrilled at that? How can I be thrilled at Bandito kicking out of a pile driver off the top rope if the previous 3 matches I saw stuff just like it? It dilutes the importance of it. That's one thing I give WWE credit for. And I know a lot of people on my channel, they always say, if you criticize one company, they always think you're a fanboy for the other company. Quite frankly, both brands suck. Like, both companies suck right now, quite frankly. Like, both of them have their own problems. But the one thing that WWE does well is that they're a bit better with their pacing and the thing of less is more. To a detriment, it's really to a detriment at this point because on their PLEs, they only have 5 matches. But overall, they don't have blood every week. They don't have extreme spots every single week. And that makes it feel special. It makes it feel a bit more special. Even somebody so much as going through a table feels special because you don't see it every week. If I see Darby Allin in chains, bleeding, or going through a flaming table every week, I'm exaggerating some. But if I see him doing all these spots every single week, it stops losing its charm. It stops being crazy. If I see Jon Moxley stab somebody with a fork basically every week, it's not shocking anymore. It's not. I can't be thrilled at a 30-minute quote unquote 5-star match on these PLEs and all these quote unquote great matches if everything on the PLE is the same match. If the same thing happens in every match, how can you be excited anymore? That's all I'm saying. They don't understand that less is more. It's fine if you have a shorter match. It's fine if you have a 10-minute match, a 5-minute, even a squash match. I feel like Tony Khan does not understand that. And in some cases, longer matches make the match worse. Like, sometimes there's a perfect length for a match. Like, if it's 10 minutes, it's great. And making it 30 minutes might make it worse. Like, not everything has to extend super long. And I think Tony Khan doesn't understand that. There's too many titles as well. How many titles are in this company? There's the TNT title. There's, of course, the AEW World title. There's the Intercontinental title. Mercedes Moné herself has, like 15 belts. There's just way too many titles in this company. And then you have, I think, the tag team titles. You have trios. If everybody's a champion, then that dilutes the importance of being a champion. That dilutes the whole importance. And this is a problem in WWE as well. But at least for them, they at least have a brand split, a quasi brand split. I know people show up on both shows. So they at least kind of have some semblance of like basically having different brands or different companies, so to speak. Like NXT, SmackDown, and Raw are separate. But on AEW, pretty much everybody's on Dynamite and Collision. So there's all these titles. So it dilutes the prestige of being a champion if everybody's a champion. Like, if there's a TNT champion, if there's a Intercontinental champion, there's TBS champion, there's a champion of Mars, there's a champion of Saturn, Venus. Like, it dilutes the entire importance of it. Like, for instance, on Full Gear, in the same night, Samoa Joe bled, Kyle Fletcher bled, Joe Briscoe bled. Everybody was bleeding. What's his name? Kyle O'Reilly, he bled. It dilutes literally the thrill of seeing blood. If people are bleeding every single week, it dilutes the thrill of it. Like, probably within the past 10 days, Kyle O'Reilly has probably bled like 5 times. Like, how am I supposed to be shocked if it's happening every time? Sometimes barely even anything happened in the match and people are bleeding. Like, the match will just start and there's blood. It's like a weird requirement in Tony Khan's mind. Like, in his mind, okay, we have to go super hard every single match. This has to happen every single time. Like, I'm serious, y'all. Stuff doesn't even have to happen sometimes. Like, the match will literally just start. Somebody gets punched or somebody got slammed a few times and people are bleeding. Sometimes people are bleeding. You don't even know how they started bleeding. It's that oversaturated. It's crazy, man. And in my opinion, the one match that really I was the most interested in the women's gauntlet, or that match, that tournament they were doing. In my opinion, that had really the most logical reason to be long, and they made that like the shortest thing, and it just ended in a roll-up. And that's the one that really should have went longer. That's the one that I think should have had, some finisher kickouts and some thrill to it. But they made that the shortest one and just end on a roll-up. So, yeah, overall, WWE and AEW are polar opposites in a way. They have, like, different spectrums of problems. Like, WWE gives you nothing. AEW gives you too much. I'll always remember when me and Crimson Blaze were watching, when we were watching Anarchy in the Arena, we just saw a whole match of people... stapling each other's ears, slamming each other on spikes, thumbtacks, flaming tables. I think there was a cage, all types of stuff. We just went through an hour of that, them playing music as the match goes on. And after that, the announcer is like, and we still have more to come. Like, how can you have more how could you possibly have more to come after that? What's gonna outmatch that? Like, what match is gonna outdo that? Like, seriously, how are you possibly going to outdo Anarchy in the Arena? That should, no question, be the main event and end your show. But the show still went on another 1 or 2 hours. Like, y'all see what I mean? I'm not crazy here, guys. Like, am I crazy here? Do y'all see what I mean? It's ridiculous. And then on the other spectrum, WWE just gives you nothing. They'll give you a 5-match PLE, half of its ads. You have to wait through a bunch of ads to get to the next match. Sometimes if it's Saturday Night Main Event, you'll have ads through the match and they just give you nothing. Roman Reigns barely shows up. Brock doesn't show up. Cody barely wrestles. They're different spectrums of problems. It's like nobody has a balance of giving you just the right amount of stuff. You're either getting nothing or you're getting too much. Basically, all WWE is going to give you is return pops. They just book for pops. All they can give you at this point is, hey, this guy hasn't been here in a while, but he's here tonight. Like, that's that's the extent of every Monday Night Raw. This guy's here. John Cena's here. Brock Lesnar's here. AJ Lee's here. That's all that happens. There's no story or anything they're doing. They just try to sell the show based on who's there. They think just somebody being there, just CM Punk's mere presence is enough. And then they'll be gone for a few weeks. Then they'll come back and they'll make a big deal out of it. CM Punk, not so much anymore, like he's regularly on the show. But I remember through the summer when they were feuding with Division, like he'll be gone the entire show, not featured. And then they'll have him just there as a surprise pop for the end of the show when CM Punk should be featured like on your show all the time. CM Punk's one of your biggest stars. Why are you saving him until the end of the show just to be there for like 5 seconds? You see what I mean? Like, these companies, does anybody have a brain? Okay, I'll just give you the right amount. For more of the Crimson Brothers, follow the Crimson Wrestling Federation today. I'm commentator Havoc, the voice of the Crimson Wrestling Federation. And you can see the calls I've made in the Crimson Wrestling Federation, in the comic Crimson Wrestling Game, Story of Malice, in the description below.